There are books that deal with this subject, but
Yes.
tell me how this book is a bit different from all the rest.
I'd be happy to. So in my role as one of the vice presidents at Focus on the Family, I travel a lot. And whether I go to Maine or Michigan, Texas, California, or any place in between, no matter where I speak, when it comes to the Q&A, I hear people say the following: I've never been more concerned about my country and culture than I am now. If they have children or grandchildren, they say, what kind of a country and culture am I leaving them? And the third thing that they say is, and I don't know what to do. In our book, American Restoration, we set out 15 chapters. Every single chapter begins with the word restoring. Restoring biblical values, restoring family and marriage, restoring human life, restoring the idea of the gentleman, restoring the idea of the United States Constitution. There's never going to be a conservative or a Christian equivalent of the Great Society of the 1960s. There's never going to be a moment where the federal government is going from the top down to restore our country. It's not going to happen from Washington. It's not going to happen from Hollywood. It's not going to happen from Silicon Valley. It's not going to happen from the financial district of New York, right? This is not Wall Street's country. This is not Hollywood's country. This is not Washington, D.C.'s country. It's our country. And the basis of it is self-government. And all of our founding fathers and all of our founding mothers, and this is a central narrative of American Restoration, they all believed that it was from the bottom up. Show me what's happening in homes. Show me what's happening in families. Show me what's happening in my neighborhood, my community, my church, my synagogue. If we are going to have the seeds of a restoration in America, if we're going to actually say that's where acts of renewal start, it's not going to be from the top down. It's going to be in the places where we live and in the places where we work.
What's the church's role in this? I'm guessing you'll say crucial, but to unpack that even more, there's even some disagreement within the church about whether to engage in the culture, whether not to. The social justice wing, the Donald Trump white conservative evangelical wing. What are we to make of all of this as it relates to the restoration?
If we are to have an American restoration, if we are to have a country 50 years and 100 years from now that is really restored and that is thriving, the church is absolutely, almost without peer, foundational to the way forward. You know, I'm going to take some very easy examples. If we wanted a successful American Revolution, it would not have been possible without the church. If we wanted a civil war that was concluded with the country united again, it would have been impossible without the church. If we wanted a civil rights movement, right, that was successful, it would have been impossible without the role of the church. And of course, now we are engaged in one of the greatest civil rights debates in American history. And we talk about this at length in American Restoration in our chapter on human life and the question of pro-life, pro-choice. The church has been absolutely central in the success of the pro-life movement. If we are to have a restoration in the kind that we write about in this book, the church is absolutely foundational, and the church has to step up. It is far beyond what happens on Sunday mornings. What happens on Sunday mornings and Wednesday nights in America in church is crucial, but it's back to the book of James. It's faith and action together. And this will not be possible. A restoration will not be possible without the active role of the church.